Public sphere vitiated. Controversies have dogged Twitter since Elon Musk's takeover. It has been nearly 2 months since business magnate Elon Musk took control of Twitter Inc. after a $44 billion acquisition. The fear that there would be a loosening of content standards under his helmsmanship has played itself out to be eerily true. Yet no one could have foreseen the chaos that has reigned since the takeover of the popular social media platform. There has been a whittling down of the workforce, which has also included summary dismissals based on whimsical reasons. The loss of employees, especially those working in the appeals process and other content moderation teams, has hurt redress processes. Poorly thought out decisions, such as users paying a monthly fee to get a verified account, have been overturned after an embarrassing increase in impersonation. The Twitter accounts of some journalists critical of Mr. Musk or who merely reported on a controversial decision by Mr. Musk to suspend the accounts of flight trackers have been suspended too without proper notice or explanation. Twitter also came up with a controversial rule about users not posting links to a specific and rival social media platforms. This resulted in a severe backlash and forced Mr. Musk to post a poll asking his over 122 million followers whether he should step down as the head of Twitter and in turn eliciting a majority response in the affirmative. Mr. Musk has now promised to find another CEO. The past 2 months have made it clear that Mr. Musk is out of his depth in running operations in a platform that has gained outside significance and appeal despite being unable to remain a financial success consistently. For better or worse, Twitter has become a key member of the internet public sphere, connecting journalists, public officials, and powerful corporate leaders to the people and allowing for the dispersal of news, opinions, and critics, even if it has also retained aspects related to hate speech, bullying, and disinformation. Twitter had tried to mitigate misgivings about the platform by coming up with content moderation principles and a rules based order to govern content. Although it has been a work in progress, but ever since Mr. Musk took over, this has been overshadowed by his arbitrary dictates and posturing. He seems to be aware that the loss of advertisers, a process that has continued because of the lowering of content standards and of reputation because of his arbitrariness, will further hurt the company's financial interests. This explains why he has agreed to step down, but his innate tendency of being a political reactionary seems to get in the way of doing the right thing. A more democratic and well governed social media universe with newer platforms can help reduce the harm, but Twitter and its users also deserve better. Second editorial Beyond Weapons. The US should push Ukraine to find a solution to the conflict with Russia. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to Washington, his first overseas travel since Russia's invasion on February 24, and the Biden administration's decision to send a new $1.8 billion military aid package, including Patriot missile defense systems and precision guided missiles, are a testament to the deep relationship Ukraine and the US share in the time of war. Ukraine has already received American financial and military funding from approved assistance worth around $54 billion. The US supply of long range missiles has played a major role in Ukraine's recent battlefield advances in Kharkiv and Kherson after its heavy losses in Donbass. The Patriot missile system is expected to strengthen Ukraine's air defenses at a time when Russia is bombarding the energy grid and water supplies. In Washington, President Joe Biden discussed a 10-point peace formula with Mr. Zelensky. The details are unknown and also promised continued support for as long as it takes. Both leaders tried to send out a message of unity amid concerns of cracks in the Western alliance as the war is continuing indefinitely with its massive economic costs. The US has uh, the US has gradually stepped up its supply of weapons to Ukraine, but is still wary of sending offensive weapons out of fears of escalating the conflict. Ukraine has relentlessly campaigned for more advanced weapons, including US aircraft, tanks, and long range tactical missiles, while Mr. Biden said his administration would continue to back Ukraine. He also warned of the risks of sending offensive weapons to Ukraine, which could break up NATO, the EU, and the rest of the world. Currently, Ukraine has a battlefield advantage, recapturing swaths of territories in the northeast and south, but Russia has air superiority. The Patriot missiles could offer some protection to Ukraine, but could also prompt Russia to carry out heavier attacks. This leaves Mr. Biden in a dilemma. He is ready to bolster Ukraine's defense but does not want to provoke a wider war between Russia and NATO. His Ukraine policy should not be an open ended weapons supply package. The US could help its ally, but it should also push for a sustainable solution to the conflict. It should use its continued support to Ukraine to mount pressure on Russia, as its weapons play a critical role in Kyiv's counterattacks, and persuade Ukraine to resume direct negotiations. At this point, no military solution seems likely. Unless there is a credible push for talks, the war is likely to continue for the foreseeable future. Thank you.